Well, oh, wait, what's happening now? Hello, everyone. It just dawned on me. So you take a week off and you completely lose. There we go. Completely lose your ability to do anything. I completely forgot to make a video for this week's live stream. So, hey, Cookie. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Tanya. Hey, Daryl. Yeah, so no catchy video this week. Just me. Just like last week with my little impromptu live from last week. Anyways, so next week there will be a video. But yeah, I'm back. No screen house this time, no trailer, no friends. All good. Daryl's leaving. Sorry, Daryl. No funny video this week. Oh, here. Okay, how about this? There's no funny video this week, but let's do this. That's pretty funny. Okay. That's as close as we're getting to a funny video this week. Anyways, and it's too bad because I probably, with this subject, I probably could have made something pretty funny. But anyway, it's all just plagiarizing everybody else's videos anyways. So where's my chat now? I got to get back to the chat. Hey, Sue. Yes, speaking of Speedos, and that's really me. It's not photoshopped at all. So we got back from Quebec City on Sunday night, and Sunday about dinner time. So we were in Quebec City from Wednesday to Sunday, and yeah, we saw a lot of things. We stayed at a KOA holiday, which hey Jim, the KOA holiday is like the resort of KOAs. There was a pool with a slide and a spa and a hot tub, and I mean the cleanest washrooms I've ever seen. It was pretty. Hi, William. It was pretty incredible, and we didn't spend a lot of time at the campsite because it did rain, so we did spend some time at the campsite. But that's what we're going to talk about tonight. You know, how much time do you spend at the campsite? Oh goodness, Daryl has a question for Jim. Yeah, I'm scared to hear this too. Oh, how's the hair, Jim? Anyways, so this was the it wasn't, well, we've traveled a little bit more than that, but Guylaine is used to how I travel. So the trips with Guylaine and I don't count. We had one trip with my son and his girlfriend, and that was, we went to a provincial park. That was our shakedown trip. And, you know, that was a little more laid back. But the Keys, the Florida Keys in January, Banff in June, and now Quebec City in July with friends. And I'm not going to say I get complaints, because I don't think anybody complains. But I do the itinerary, and I keep us busy. Hey, Bree. He really does need to do a weekly rant. Jim rants. Foster rants. How's that? Anyway, I like to see stuff. I listen, we have 5 kids, and anywhere that we went, we were going to have to rent 2 hotel rooms, minimum, right? And Guylaine's parents had been to Wildwood a couple of times. They said, you have to go to Wildwood, you have to go to Wildwood. And we looked into Wildwood, and like a 2-star hotel in North Wildwood was like $400 US a night, and we needed 2 rooms. So to go there for a week, and then your food and it didn't make any sense. So the trailer made a lot of sense for us, and that's more or less how we got started with that. So that being said, I'm not a camper. I have a camper, but I am not a camper. Gillian and I don't enjoy campfires anymore. The smoke gets to us. We did s'mores with the kids, but we don't do that. And despite what you think about my hot dog intake, wieners over the fire were pretty much about as far as we ever got. Kids like to make little octopuses and get the arms to curl. So, we're not campers by any stretch of the imagination. When I was young, I grew up in the bush on a lake, and we would, on occasion, we would tent. But what is that? Okay. But really, there wasn't too much. My parents had a house on a lake. It wasn't even a camp. It was a camp when they started, and they turned it into a house. So, it almost sounds like a 19. That sounds too loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. But there's 2 ways to travel. You can either take a vacation and relax, and we've done that. But again, typically not something that I do very much. Or you can go somewhere to see some stuff. People take a vacation to relax, and I don't do that. It's I don't have a very hard job, so. But when we go anywhere, I want to see what's there. Alex played hockey in where did we go? Yeah, Germany. We started in Germany, did exhibition in Germany, and then he played the tournament in Prague. And anyway, we spent the hockey team did a tour with the kids, and we went to Salzburg, Austria. We went for the day, and we passed the Mozart Museum. The chat is being dumb. What's going on with the chat? Is it my Wi-Fi? Jim is doing a chat test. Was he on Team Canada? He played for for the Canadian Nationals U14, and it was just for a tournament in Prague, representing Canada. It was what was it? It was Canada, Czech, Russia, Germany. Wherever Yarmar Yager's from. What is that? Anyways, it was a 6-nation cup. YouTube's been doing this lately on several lives. Sonia and I had an issue, but it appears to be corrected now. Huh. Tanya got a message saying the service was unavailable. And Sue, we can see your comments. Yeah, I don't know. I had, very similar to what happened with me on Sonia's chat too. So I don't know. Yeah, that was probably the best team that he was ever on. And then from there, he just played local competitive. So yeah, I didn't see anything. I've got YouTube on here, and I have Streamlabs on here, and I'm seeing everybody's messages. I'm not seeing anything deleted. Nothing looks held. Of course, I'm not an expert at this, so if it was, I probably wouldn't even know the difference. So, but yeah. Anyways, back to Austria. We passed the Mozart Museum, which, if you didn't know, it is the apartment where Mozart was born and where he started his career as a composer. And in this apartment, they have the original piano that he wrote the Magic Flute on. And it was €8 to get in. And I thought, oh my God, like, when are you going to get a chance like this again? And everybody's like, you're crazy. You're paying that much to go in here. But that's what we do. I want to see things. I want to experience things. And that's how we travel now with the trailer. The trailer is just a means to get us closer to the things that we want to see. Yeah, everything seems to be working. Except Daryl being too sexy for the chat. I'm not sure that that's working. What's my opinion on the teardrop as a starter, the one that you posted? I didn't see it. Teardrop is a great place to start, especially I believe you have an F-150, so that's plenty of truck for that trailer, which is always the number one concern. The question is, are you and Pat going to be comfortable in that? Is it big enough? What's your plans? Are you planning on being on the road for a long time? You're just looking for a place to sleep? Have to take all that into consideration. Going back to what I was saying, Guylaine and I, when we travel just the two of us, we spend a lot of time in the trailer. So I want something that's big, something that's comfortable. Yeah, it is a Ford, and that's why I said it could probably handle the teardrop, Daryl. If he wants to get a bigger trailer, he should probably get a Dodge, or a Ram. I won't see it. Only the people who try to post a chat. It says not sent, not available. Whole host of it. Yeah. See, and I was getting that on Sonia's the other night, and I logged out, or I left the stream 3 times and came back in, and finally on the 3rd time it was showing my messages. So I don't know. I will. I'll look for your post, William, and see for sure. Is it like all enclosed teardrop, or is it one with like a hatch on the back with a little kitchen in the back, just a bed? Did I say oot? Oot. So, getting back to what I was saying. So I like to travel. I like to experience things. I like to see things when we travel. Hey, Tim. I want to maximize the sightseeing as much as possible. And I have been accused of overpacking schedules in the past. And so we had a rule. First of all, we will not do anything for more than 2 hours. Okay. Museum, 2 hours max. We are not staying any longer than that. Some kind of a show, 2 hours max. We are not going to see Avatar as a family on the road. It's just not going to happen. We try to keep things into those little windows, or we do a window of morning and a window of afternoon. So Cape Cod is coming up, and the deal is beaches in either the morning or the afternoon, and then sightseeing in the opposite. And try not to get up too early, right? We try not to plan timed events unless there's no way around that. Quebec City, we had 2 timed events, and one of them was 9:30 in the morning, which nobody was happy about. But the event finished just before the rain, so it worked out for us. And the other event was the boat cruise we did on my birthday. So, but we try to avoid timed entries if at all possible, just because it's hard to travel with a gang. If it's Guylaine and I, it's not too bad. But when it's a bigger gang, to try and get people to a specific spot at a specific time, it's like we don't even make dinner reservations because you can't. It's too hard with a big gang. So, another reason why I like to have everything planned is there may be specific things that you want to see. You may have things on your bucket list that you want to do. You're going to Wildwood, you better be walking the boardwalk, because that's what it is. Now, you can spend 2 hours walking the boardwalk and you're going to pass the same store 14 times, but Tim will have the last part 3 for 023 meetup for video for tomorrow. Okay, good. And I'm getting a call there. That's not. And for me, I like to move. So it's got to be exciting because I get bored. I get bored very easily, and if I'm not moving, I'm falling asleep. In Cookie's last marriage, they had 5 kids and a 2,500 Dodge conversion van, and camping was usually in a cabin. Wow, yeah, yeah, you would have to. Um, yeah, finding a vehicle that holds 7 people is not easy. Been there, done that. And then try to find something that will hold 7 people and still be able to pull a trailer, right? That was always our issue, was try to find something that will sleep 7 people, find something that will sit 7 people, and find something that doesn't weigh so much that you can still pull it with 7 people in the vehicle. That was very tough. Very tough. Yeah, Cookie, that's too many kids. What are you thinking? Who in their right mind would have 5 kids? Never said I was in my right mind. But traveling like that can create a whole different set of problems. I get a lot of complaints about the amount of sleep that we get and the amount of actual rest that we get, and how not relaxing the vacations can be. And I'm going to say guilty on all accounts. But if I want to sleep, I want to sleep at home. I didn't go on vacation to sleep. I want to get up. I'm not paying all this money to stay in bed. I can do that at home. Yes, right. Obviously, the 7 people are the problem. Hi, Jeff. Yes, the 7 people are the problem. Actually, the 2 people who made the other 5 people are the problem, clearly. As well, if you're on the go all the time, are you really getting to experience everything, or are you just kind of touching on everything? Because you might not get to do everything as much as you'd like to. We had a mishap, let's say, on my birthday. And we had planned to leave the trailer about 10 o'clock, and we ended up not getting out until about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And that only left us an hour for Montmorency Falls, which realistically, 2.5 hours if you want to have a full experience. But we did it in an hour because that's all we had. And we had to get to the boat. We had to get to the dock to check in, to get on to the cruise. And so, William, it's just you and Pat. It makes travel a lot easier, honestly. That being said, I love traveling with my kids. So whoever wants to come is always welcome. We always have room. And when they stop coming, we'll downsize the trailer. That's all. But we're keeping things as is for now. Cookie usually plans as little as possible. Stuff that requires reservations is about it. Everything else is determined on the fly. See, and I'm not sure I could do that. I have anxiety. I need to know where we're parking the trailer at night. It's a little different now. I have no problem sleeping in the parking lot at a Walmart. I just won't put the tip outs out. But when you have 7 people in a space, you have to put the tip outs out, number one. And I don't think it's safe if you're in a parking lot somewhere, if you're in a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart. And how do I say this nicely? Well, we're all RVers here. You have to empty the tanks every day when you're 7 people. That 17Z had 23-gallon tanks, sometimes twice a day. And so I needed to know where we were going to be, and I needed to know that we had full hookups. Glenn and I now are just doing provincial parks and state parks and things without hookups because we can now. The 2 of us can go 4 or 5 days without hookups. We're fine, and the trailer has a 60-gallon freshwater tank. We're fine. Okay, parking the trailer is one of the things that you say requires a reservation. Okay, fair enough. We see people on the fly doing harvest host or calling while they're driving. We did that a little bit on our Maritimes trip in 2011. And I had done the research, and it was different back then. There wasn't all the online bookings. You could do all your research and everything, but you had to call to reserve a campsite. So what I had done was I'd made a list of campsites that we wanted to stay at. And with the exception of one, we got in everywhere that we wanted to go. Now, with the boom with the pandemic and the RV sales in the last couple of years and what's been going on, I don't think I trust anything anymore. Even, you're listening to people like Robert or KYD, and they're calling Harvest Host, and they can't get in because everybody's doing Harvest Host now, or Boondockers Welcome. So I don't want to be in that boat where I have nowhere to stay. So stuff like that, yeah, I have to have that in there. Anyways, going back to the cons, I don't want to miss anything, I think is the biggest thing for me. And are you missing something if you're go? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. No planned trips, cookies taken, we're all solo and almost always on a motorcycle. See, and that makes a difference too. Sonia's whole trip needs to be planned out. Just feel better that way. Don't like having to worry about where we're going to stay. And I'm the same. We go so far as to plan the meals. And, if I know that we're doing an experience, I'll give you an example. We'll go back to Quebec. And the KOA that we stayed at, beautiful. It is the closest campground to Quebec City. But it's half an hour to get into the city. So I'm not going to go and walk around for a little bit without any general plans and just kind of sightsee and then try to figure out what I'm doing for lunch. So we had the itinerary planned out, and the boat cruise, for instance, parking in Quebec City is an absolute nightmare. And so once we had a parking space, I didn't want to give it up. So we had put that right on the itinerary that once we got off the boat, we were staying in town. We were going out for dinner that night because I didn't want to give up the parking spot to drive back to the trailer and then come back into town to do some night sightseeing. So we go so far as to plan the meals. I prefer to have everything in the trailer and have the trailer packed and ready to go. And if I have to stop somewhere for supplies or whatever, I will. But I like to have everything in the trailer, which one of the issues I have when we travel to the States is what you're allowed to bring over the border. And so our first stop is almost always at a Walmart, and I almost always have a list of exactly what I need. And that's once we cross the border, I want the cupboards full, the cupboards in the fridge filled, and I don't want to have to worry about groceries for the rest of the week. So all about balance. Plan time to be spontaneous in your plans, like blank out 6 hours and say, let's see what we can find. So for Quebec, I had planned 2 afternoons where we did nothing, where we, they had the pool, they had the spa, and, I had planned to do that. One day we had rain, and one day, like I say, we were supposed to be back at the trailer for one, and we left at one. So kind of hard to do that in that sense. To make camping reservations 2 to 4 days in advance. Yeah, sometimes, sometimes that works. Last weekend, we hadn't really. Where did we go last weekend? We were in Quebec City. Before that, we were in Kingston. That's right. And Kingston was a plan that I had in the books. I used Google Maps. I think we did I did a very brief and not nearly in-depth live stream on planning a trip. We should probably revisit that at some point. And so I have places that are saved and knew where we wanted to go. There was a couple different campsites. I just had to check for availability. So yeah, so that one we planned. We said, hey, let's go to Kingston this weekend. But I had already planned the trip. But yeah, we made reservations a couple of days before, and we didn't have a problem. Same thing with wow. So what you're saying, Jim, is that you don't have to worry about having pineapples in the trailer when you cross the border. Or actually, you don't have to worry about crossing the border at all because she's never coming back, she said. So Sonia only eats a dozen things. William is a veteran and has a national state pass, and you can stay at any park. You can stay at any park if they have room. Yeah, you can stay at the national parks for sure. Right? No pineapples, Jim. You don't have to worry about that. And I did offer to bring you eggs because chickens are definitely, any kind of poultry product is definitely a no-no. Tim makes meals on the fly. It's fine if you have everything in the trailer, which I often do not. You know, that being said, there's always hot dogs in the freezer. So never have to worry about that. Worst case scenario, we're having hot dogs. But having a relaxed and laid back trip, it's nice to just relax. When the pandemic hit, we were in Cuba, and we weren't sure how we were getting back. There is a video somewhere on my site with that, and Cuba was a very relaxing vacation. We didn't really leave the resort. We went to check out another beach. We took a bus, and but we had no plans. The plan was to get up early, get the breakfast buffet before everybody else got there, because otherwise there was never any bread left. And get to the beach. And it was very relaxing, but it was very boring too at the same time. We did Mexico in 2016, and we left the resort like 3 times, and everybody thought it was a bit much, and maybe it was. And I think by just having a relaxed atmosphere, it gives you the chance to do spontaneous things, and we've done that too. And some of our most enjoyable things on vacation were completely unexpected. So that's always a nice thing. But again, if you allot that time and still get to see everything that you want, right? And everybody should feel like they had a vacation. Banff, everybody came back and they were tired. But that being said, Banff was very, I had to take time off work to book the campsites, to make sure that we got campsites. It's not something where you can just show up last minute. There's not a lot of overflow. There's nowhere to boondock. And, so to just show up and fly by the seat of your pants there is pretty tough. I had talked to Robert and said, you have to book your shuttles for Lake Louise. You have to book your shuttles for Lake Louise. And he flew by the seat of his pants, and he managed to get shuttles because they released a lot 48 hours before he was there. So, so good for him. I booked my shuttles 3 months in advance because I was terrified that, we want to go see Lake Louise. We want to see Moraine Lake. And if you don't book those shuttles, our only other option, because we were a group of 10, was to, they had a van that would shuttle us there, but it was $300. I'm not paying $300 to go see a lake, as beautiful as it is. Wait, I'm missing stuff here. I'm having a whole conversation about hot dogs. Bacon trumps hot dogs? I'm going to disagree with you that bacon trumps hot dogs, because I know that you like chewy bacon. So chewy bacon does not trump hot dogs on any list. Yes, bacon wrapped hot dogs are fine as long as the bacon is crisp. Yes, with cheese, of course. Oh, see, I don't like the beef hot dogs, Cookie. I find them greasy. I like the pork dogs. And as we all know, I'm having Italian sausage, so I don't actually eat that many hot dogs. Ooh, Nathan's. Bacon wrapped Nathan's. That sounds good, Sue. Hot dogs with caramelized onions, sauerkraut, and mustard. Oh, Cookie, no ketchup on your hot dog? Really? I'm so disappointed. I think if there was bacon, I probably wouldn't put ketchup, but no chewy bacon. No, you can wrap a hot dog with raw bacon and make it crispy. Why would you wrap it with crispy bacon? You can't wrap a hot dog with crispy bacon, but you can make the bacon crispy. Yeah, I could do mayo on a hot dog. I look at Brie comes out of nowhere with mayo. Like, what about sriracha? I can't even say that. Sriracha. Well, you have to look at it this way, Cookie. A tomato is technically a fruit, so ketchup is jam. You're just putting jam. It's fine. No mayo ever. On anything? Yes, there you go, Sue. Thank you. Yes, in the air fryer. That's how you cook hot dogs. That's the best way to cook hot dogs. Sriracha. Sriracha on your sriracha. Tanya will just take mustard. So when Tanya and I worked together, the deli at work ordered too many hot dogs. And they were trying to sell off the hot dogs for 50 cents each. And we would eat hot dogs every day. It was awful. And they're not the good hot dogs either. They wrap them in the foil. And so the buns are soggy, but rock hard all at the same time. But 50 cents is 50 cents. So no mayo at all. Do you not eat eggs? It's just eggs. Ugh. No mayo ever. I miss those hot dogs too. They don't even sell them anymore. Now we have, what are those things called? Samosas. No eggs? Oh my God. I just can't. I can't with you. No eggs. Cookie is determined that ketchup is actually an ingredient not to be used alone. It's fine with sriracha. See, I can't say that. And awesome with curry, but by itself is just nasty. I don't think I have ketchup by itself on anything. I actually don't eat a lot of ketchup, but on hot dogs, it's ketchup, mustard, onions for sure. For sure. And best hot dogs are cooked on the grill. I don't know, William. If you're coming to M23, I will make you one in the air fryer. You have not lived till you've tried one in the air fryer. They're good. I don't do boiled hot dogs. That's just not good at all. Anyways. So yeah, nothing wrong with relaxing a little bit. For me, I'm worried about missing things. So I don't want to miss anything. If you're relaxing, to me, you're not spending, I don't know. I can relax at home. I can put my feet up, sit on the couch, watch TV. Yeah, I don't have a beach here, but we still do beaches and things, right? We plan for it. And if I wanted to park the trailer and stay at the campsite, I would, or I would get a cottage. I would sell the trailer and get a cottage, either one. But that's like when I'm out in the trailer, I want to be out in the trailer. I'm going somewhere to see something. This just in, there are some nice campsites and some not nice campsites, but basically they're all campsites. So if I'm not going to pull my trailer somewhere and then sit at a campsite when I can do that half an hour from my house. So in the movie Sling Blade, Billy Bob Thornton used mustard with his fries because he doesn't like the color red. Interesting. I've had mustard on fries. It's fine. We have a burger joint here called Harvey's in Canada, and I will get a loaded burger, and everything drips out of the hamburger onto the wax paper, and then you take your fries and you rub it in that, and it's fantastic. Join me in Louisiana, Jeff. You might not think that anymore. What does Jeff think? French fries have to have ketchup. I usually eat them without. Now, I'm from Canada, so technically French fries are supposed to have gravy and cheese curds, but that's different. Jeff doesn't eat guac. I don't eat guac either, really. I mean, no offense to avocado, but there's I like if I'm having corn chips or something, I prefer salsa over guac. So and yeah, and if you're just relaxing, you how do you know when it's time to stop relaxing? How do you know when it's time to get off the beach? How do you know, if you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants? I don't know. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. If I'm going to the beach, it's planned at the beach, and I know exactly what time I'm getting off the beach, or what the next event is, whether it's dinner, whether it's going to shopping, or oh no raw oysters, Brie. Oh, Sue, I've never had avocado toast. I've had avocado, I've had toast. I've never had them together. I'm sure they're fine because I like both, and I like avocados. I'm not a big guac fan. You're not off topic. It's just you're offside for raw oysters. That's all. Ooh, raw oysters is not good content. No. What? I think it was Steve Carell. Was it Jerry Seinfeld, Cars and Coffee, and I think he picks up Steve Carell and they go to an oyster bar, and Steve Carell has never had oysters. It is hilarious. No, I don't need a vacation from running around so much. Listen, I can relax whenever I need to. You know what? Go to bed early and sleep a little extra. It'll take you a couple days to get caught up, and you're good. But if you're not asleep before you hit the pillow on vacation, you're doing it wrong. Mickey D's special sauce. You know what? And it's I make a homemade sugar-free Big Mac sauce, and it is good. And it's mustard and ketchup, or ketchup and mayo. Paula's video on what cooking? I missed something there. Does Paula have a video on raw oysters? I'll have to check that out. Yes, Mr. Bean and the oysters is funny as well. That would be me shoving it in other people's purses and stuff. Oysters are like snot rockets. Yep. Agreed. Well, I'm picky with some things. I'm not picky with other things, but I'll try just about anything. But if I like something, that's usually what I get. The only time that I'm picky is when I'm paying. I don't like to try new things when I'm paying, because if I don't like it and I had to pay for it, not so good. I'll try something at home. So I thought, now that we're back in the studio and I can do a script, I thought maybe it would be fun to return to random thoughts. Unless somebody had anything else to add about traveling with plans, without plans, being busy, not being busy. Nobody's convinced me that I'm doing anything wrong, so I'm sticking with what I'm doing. And this is how Glenn and I like to travel. It's when people travel with us that we tire them out. Breakfast for dinner is definitely allowed. I don't care what Daryl says. And you'd think he'd like breakfast for dinner, because it's breakfast over there when it's dinner over here. So, yep, breakfast for dinner. Breakfast sausage is just a different form of hot dog, so I'm good with that. All right. things that make you go, random thoughts. Yep, that's true. Everybody has to do what they're happy with, Cookie. Jeff flies by the seat of his pants. And I don't think that I'm that, unless there's a time restriction. The first time that we did Banff, we covered 1,000 miles in 48 hours. No word of a lie. We picked up the rental car at 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and we dropped it off at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. And we went from Calgary to Jasper. We went to Yoho National Park in BC, and we did 1,000 miles, 1,700 kilometers. And it's like, okay, we're getting out, we're taking pictures. Okay, we got to go, and so that was very rushed, but that was rushed because we only had 48 hours. One of the things that the kids told me for Banff is they would have liked to have had more time to see more things. They weren't necessarily against the schedule that I made, but our schedule was, we flew out on Thursday. No, we flew out on Thursday. We had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we had 5 days, and we should have done it in 7, realistically. Oh, and there's my son. Hello, Xavier. So Xavier can speak to how we travel. Yeah, we pack things in there for sure, but we want to see everything. Jeff flying by the seat of his pants, going to visit Bree, who plans almost nothing. Y'all ain't going to see anything but windshield, right? Yeah, you gotta have some plans. I'm not saying you have to plan every second of the day, but you have to have some plans. You have to know what you're going to see. You have to make the reservations that are necessary. Yeah, it's packed, but we get to see everything, right? So it's fun that way. And there's things that you're just not going to see if you don't plan it. So, but yeah, I think it was Cookie who said, plan some time off. That's a good way to put it. And I think if we had spread things out a little bit more, and spent a little more time not visiting things, that Banff probably would have been better. But it gives us stuff to do next time, and now we have a better idea what to do next time too. So, and it's been a long time since we've traveled with that many people, so I might be off my game a little bit as well. Plan spontaneity, right? That sounds like an oxymoron, but you're 100% right, Cookie. All right. Well, I'm not even getting to my random thoughts here. I talk too much. You're Jeff, the new guy? Really, Jeff? Bree, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Well, hi, Bert. Thanks for joining us. Xavier's usually busy at this time during the week, so just the fact that he's here, checking in on me. All right, we're only going to do 5 random thoughts because it's getting late, and I have plans at 9. It's an oyster. Really? Is that what that is? Oh, Bree. No oysters. No oysters in the chat. Somebody put Bree in the corner. Okay. Studies have proven that caffeine is more addictive than marijuana. Is marijuana addictive? I don't know. Tim messed up and made his video public. You can always unlist it and just relist it tomorrow, Tim. Just don't delete it. Just unlist it. Random thought number 2. People who swear a lot tend to be more honest and loyal with their friends and their partners. Well, that must mean that I am a very loyal and honest person, just not on YouTube. A new study says marijuana affects your DNA. In which way? Oh, Cookie's watching on a 55-inch TV. That's why he can see what Brie is posting. So, Zevi, every week we try to do a bunch of random thoughts. And the first random thought was that studies have proven that caffeine is more addictive than marijuana. And I can tell you that I love my coffee and I'm not happy if I don't have it. It affects it badly. Very good, Jim. Never believe a new study. Well, it turns out that 76% of statistics are made up on the spot. So you never know, right? I suppose that's true, Zevi. Being high is addictive. You better not find out. But yeah, coffee definitely addictive, and I don't know that it's a bad thing or not, but so nice of our treasured home. Did Nancy post that we were live again? She does this for us every week. She's so nice. First person in mind when I came in this live, I thought it was George Clooney's live. Wow. I'll take that as a compliment. I've definitely been called worse than George Clooney. William and Brie are in the corner eating oysters. Make sure that you clean up when you're done because I don't want that smell in here. Yeah, I can do without the marijuana as well. Welcome to George Clooney's live. Right. All right. Random thought number 3, your brain is not fully awake until after 10 a.m. Has to do with the circadian rhythm and blue light in the atmosphere. So there you go. Well, don't say that, Brie, because then Daryl's going to do it for sure. So I don't think it matters what time you get up if you're a morning person or not a morning person. Blue light affects us. Studies have proved this. We make, as you know, I do eyes and things, and we make glasses now that block blue light because of all the blue light that comes off the devices. When you're on your device watching anything at night, you're getting the blue light from your device, and it screws up your circadian rhythm. And people who are on their devices too much often have trouble sleeping, and that's. Look, Kmart doesn't exist in Canada anymore, and it's not midnight, so it doesn't matter what the blue light special is. Very funny, buddy. Spending more time outdoors can decrease your chance of developing depression. Well, duh. Who didn't know that? Any day that I don't have to wear socks is a good day. What did Zevi write now? Well, whether it's black, whether the coffee is black or not, I don't think has much of an effect. It still has the same amount of caffeine. If it's black, it doesn't have the sugar and the cream. So yeah. And yeah, I've drank my coffee black since college because I couldn't afford sugar and cream. So, and then I just got used to it. So, and our last random thought, science has shown that playing video games is better at battling depression than therapy. I would think that would have a lot to do with the type of games that you're playing. And I think if you're playing video games alone, that doesn't help, but at least playing video games online You're part of a tribe. You're in a social group. If you drink coffee after 10, you're not sleeping. I can drink coffee till about 6 at night. It used to not affect me at all. And now if I have a drop after 6, it's going to take me a while to fall asleep for sure. For sure. Anyways. Yeah, I would agree that playing video game, and I don't know that it's better than therapy, but it's certainly better than nothing or not getting help at all. But that being said, if you're depressed, you should get help, because that is the best thing to do. Don't believe either. I don't know what's happening over there. All right, let's get into Would You Rather. We got about 10 minutes left. I don't know what's happening in the corner over there. We might have to shut this down early. All right. Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live to 100 with a lot of regrets? For some people, 100 is in 20 years. So, Gord the psychiatrist, maybe. But I think, see, this is what I have to put up with, Cookie. Imagine this, eh? In my own house. Anyways, can I repeat that? Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live to be 100 with lots of regrets? Live to 100, I already have a lot of regrets. Oh, see, and Jim, that gives you an extra 15 years. So there you go. I'm just kidding, Jim. Happy birthday. Jeff would rather live for 20 and have no regrets. Cookie as well. I don't know. I don't want to have any regrets. So far, I don't. So, although if Xavier keeps commenting, that may be my only regret. I'm just kidding, buddy. All right. Would you rather walk to work in heels or drive to work in reverse? Well, I don't think I would do very well in heels. Never tried. Don't plan to. Sonia wants to live to 100 because she's afraid of dying. Sue is almost 70 and has a few regrets. Bree just wants sriracha. What does that have to do? Do you regret not buying enough sriracha? I can't even say that. Jim, you will always have magnificent hair. So, yeah, I'm with you, Cookie. I don't have, I can't even think of any regrets I have. If Jeff lives to 100, well, someone will have to change my diaper and I will regret that. Can't wear heels Sue can't wear heels since she broke her ankle, so I guess she'll drive backwards, but it don't work anymore. Yeah, I would rather drive to work in reverse. Unless there's a trailer. And the dog makes his appearance on the live stream. I didn't miss him last week. No, Xavier, I don't regret having kids. I regret having the dog, for sure. But other than that, would you rather be able to take back anything you say or hear any conversation that is about you? I honestly don't care what people think about me, so I would have to say that I would rather be able to take back anything I could say, because sometimes I don't think before I speak, and I hurt people's feelings. So I try not to do that, but it does happen sometimes. But I don't care what people say, so say whatever you will about me. You can say I look like George Clooney, and it will not hurt my feelings at all. Yeah, I think everybody's in the... We made Duke bark because he heard Caesar in the background. Good. Sorry, Tim. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, nobody cares what people think, and that's how it should be, right? Can't change what other people think. Xavier likes to listen to what people say because then he can improve himself. That's true. That is a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Jeff would like to take some stuff back too. I guess if I would like to take stuff back, then I have regrets. So maybe this changed my answer to the last question. Duke needs a belly rub now. Well, I'm not coming over, Tim, so you're going to have to do it. I'm a little too far. Would you rather hunt and butcher your own meat or never eat meat again? Do hot dogs count as meat? Maybe. I haven't even tried plant-based stuff, and I have no interest in trying plant-based stuff. So when I was when I grew up, we grew up in the bush, so we hunted in the fall. So I guess I would go with that. Not big on the butchering. Yes, Xavier is a smart kid no matter what I say about him. You're right, Jim. Don't tell him what I said, though. And don't tell him I think he's smart, otherwise that'll... Yeah, oh, big surprise. Brie is going to hunt and butcher her own meat. Didn't you say that you butcher a pig in your video today? That you can butcher a pig? Sue would never eat meat again because she's not doing the other part. And Sonia would never eat meat again. Can't stand seeing animals hurt or dying. Right? And I have trouble with that too. But I can't be without meat, so. Sonia would starve. No, Jeff, McDonald's is not cheating because it's not meat. So I don't see the problem with that. Would you rather be the absolute best at something that no one takes seriously or be average at something that's well respected? Oh my God. Wait till she tells you what else she did. And Cookie has like 3 scared emojis. William put that he doesn't care. Is he, William, are you lagging? So I think that was a little further back. Or are you saying that you don't care to be the absolute best at something or be well respected? I don't really care either. I don't really care either. Yes, Jim is incredibly average except for his hair. Yeah, I don't think I care one way or the other. If I'm the best at something or if I'm average at something that's well respected. I'm very average at most things, so, and a lot of things below average. Like I still haven't made. How long have you been telling me to do a checklist? I still haven't made a checklist for the RV, and I still forget stuff. So I would say I'm below average in listening. And Sue is average, so that's her answer. So if he feels that respect is important, he'd rather be good at something respected. But that wasn't the question. It's would you rather be good at something that's not respected or be average at something that is respected? So would you rather be the best goalie on a house league team or be an average goalie on a competitive team? Cookie heard a song on TikTok that reminded him of Gord. Was it about hot dogs? Or was it about being average? William would rather be average at something that is respected. It is hard. These questions make you think. It's supposed to be hard. Ordinary Average Guy by Joe Walsh. There you go. I reminded you of it, not it reminded me of you. All right. Was it a hot dog song? Anyways, that's about all that I have for this week. Next week we're home. So next week we will be on at our regular time, unless well, we're going to stick to Wednesdays for now. We'll see. Tuesdays might be in the making. We're having some changes at work. There's some scheduling changes and whatnot. Jeff is respected, but he's average. I'm glad you enjoyed the questions, William. Sonia is averagely respected. There you go. So yeah, next Wednesday, same place, same bat time, same bat station. I have no idea what we're talking about, which is usually the corn dogs with ketchup and mustard. You know, if you make a pool of each side by side and then run the corn dog through the middle of them, that is something. The song is a very different rendition of the song Jeff mentioned. I'll send it to me, Cookie. All right. Thanks, Sue. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you being here. And we will see you next week. Until then, take care. And I will see you online. Have a good evening.